Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Astucia Wiki, the LLM Wiki for Teams. And I would like to start this episode of explaining how the AI user in Astucia Wiki interacts with the LLM. So I made a diagram here that you can see. And when you ask the AI user something in the chat, it will send a system prompt, which is directions on how it should analyze and how it should treat the output. And there will be a separate episode about that. It's also called prompt engineering. And along with the in the request, there is also a send from the AI user to the LLM, a list of tools that are available to the LLM. And you can see here, it gives the LLM instructions on how to list pages depending on criteria, how to search pages and find related pages, etc. So you could use the AI user in conjunction with the LLM for all kinds of purposes with your content. The last thing is the context, as it's called, which is actually the user prompt, where you have your instructions to the LLM, your questions, or etc., etc. So that is the first request to the LLM, and then there will be a response back, and that response will depend on your query, what you were asking for. So there will be could be a loop. You can see here that between also with C and D there can be updates to your wiki, and the LLM can also request, for example, searching pages or fetch a specific page, and then that can be a loop depending on what the query was about. I will also show you later on the page chat. So this is the overall logic of how your Astucia Wiki interacts with the LLM. So let's go to the next topic, and that is how to add an AI user. You have to be administrator, and you have the icon down to the left, and then you have a tab called AI, and then you have a list here of AI users, and you can see the ones that I'm having here in my test setup. And I'm having one user that is using the Mistral API, three users that are using the Anthropic Claude API, and then I have one that is using ChatGPT. So we can open up one of them and look at the settings for this particular AI user. And this one I called it Zeus. I thought it was a good name. You can also call them, for example, as you saw, I called them like Bud Legal. Here again, or bot GDPR, depending on the purposes and the system prompt that you're using it. But I will make a separate episode on prompt engineering and how you can use various AI users for different purposes. So let's look again at the settings here. You're choosing which model to use. And the context messages are the messages in the chat. So that will be, if it's 10, it will Astucia Wiki will automatically send the last 10 messages in the thread. And you can set it to all the way down to 0, and that means that only the message that you typed will be sent as part of the context. Of course, in the user prompt, your request to the LLM, you can also ask it to search your wiki for pages with different tags or keywords. So the default value is 10. And I will also show you in the chat how you can reset. There's a command called new topic. Max tokens per request. I quickly learned that around 4,000 was a good setting. It depends on how complex your queries are, your requests are. It also has to do with which kind of subscription you have with your LLM provider. You don't want to risk running out of tokens too fast. So it's up to you how much you will put here. But if you put it too low max tokens per request, you risk that it will just stop in the middle of processing. Temperature is a setting of how, what could you call it, creative the LLM should be. And a default value is 0.7 that I have just also used. But then you can change it here, and you can see the description here. If you want lower values, more focused deterministic replies. System prompt is here where you can add specific instructions for this particular AI user. It could be, for example, you could make an AI user for yourself to teach you French or Spanish, and then you can just say you are a Spanish teacher, and then etc., give instructions on how you want this interaction to work. That's basically it when it comes to the AI users. And then if I have a prompt, if we go to the general chat with which is the next topic, if I do from the menu here a new chat, and we can just say it chat with Thor, and then you can see this is a blank chat. So right now there is no context, and I could say if I put a hashtag and then I put Thor, and then I just press tab, then we are talking with Thor. And we say, Thor, yeah, you have to make a page about lions. And then we can see his thinking. And for Thor, there is no, I didn't put any system prompt, any specific instructions on how it should act. So this will be a very general request and a very general reply. So just you can see how it works. And then you can see the tools. So Thor, which is Claude Anthropic, is using the wiki tools to list pages, read page, and write page. And you can see what he came up with here. The lion page has been created. It already existed. I already had a page about lions up here. So you can see here that this is a really good example of how the context you're sending, that your wiki content is available to the LLM. So this is amazing. It can read your contents, and it can also update your contents. So we can see here, it already existed, so I have expanded it significantly. So you can see all those things that this page was improved with. So we'll go here, and a lot of interesting things were added. I can just say that the previous version, if we go to the version history, you can see here that Thor just updated Lion MD. And if we restore the previous version, here we can see that the previous version was a lot shorter. So a very simple example of how you make a query and the context is sent to the LLM. And when you are telling the LLM which wiki tools are available, it will use them. And then you can give instructions on when and how it should use these tools. So this was a very general, generic example. And you can see that it found out by itself. It took by itself the initiative to search the existing content. Is there already a page about a lion? So this is actually, I'm quite amazed myself here. So let's go to the next topic. If we go to a specific page, you can see there's an icon up here, a chat icon. And if I click it here, Astucia Wiki will prompt you. Says there is no chat page associated with this page. Do you want one created? And I will say yes, please. And since this is a page chat, we are already working in the context of this page. So we don't even need to explain to the LLM that this is the page that we want to talk about. So I can just put Thor, anything to add? And then because this is a page chat, like I said, the context is the page by itself already. So we don't need to explain any further. And you can again here see which tools are used. And it's even calling related pages. This is quite amazing. And then Thor is working, and let's see what he came up with. And you can see here, because I didn't give specific instructions that I wanted the page to be updated, the results are put out here in the chat here. And then he's asking, want me to update the page with any or all of these additions, suggestions? I will just, and since we were prompting Thor, you can see that the chat changed context here. So now we are chatting with Thor, and this happens automatically. I can just dismiss it, and then we will go back to the general, what you call it, where we can interact with other AI users. But if I just put yes, please, and everybody will tell you that you don't have to use please. It's just another token that you will pay for, perhaps. So don't use them. But let's just go ahead. And again, because there's no state or memory in the LLM, the default value for the context was 10 messages. So that means that now the reply from the previous request is included in the next request. So the LLM can see that this suggestion was here because it's sent as part of the context, if you remember the diagram. So Thor replied, here, I've done it. And then you can see here the page has been updated. Record holder call out. Where did that go? I can't see also. Did it update? Or maybe there's a, let me just try to close the chat. Go back. I can't see those. Record holder call out. Top speed. And it was updated. Record holder call out. Apparently it put it somewhere here. I can't, maybe I'm blind. But anyway, social structures. Yeah, you can see here, it's here. I'm just being blind. Sorry, I just had a little meltdown there. So this is the page chat. So you are, when you just click the chat page, of course, this also works if you have multiple users on your wiki. You can collaborate. So there can be messages from other human users. So this is an example of how you use it with an AI user. And if some of your colleagues or friends who are also using the wiki also have messages in the chat, they will also be included in the request in the context that is sent to the LLM, depending on your setting. And if you want to reset and start a whole new topic, this is mostly a command used in a general chat. You just put a new topic, and that will reset the conversation with the LLM. Let me show next here. The next topic here is agents. There will be a separate episode about agents because that is also a much bigger topic. I just want to show you where they are and how they work. So again, you go to AI and you go to agent jobs. And here is an example. It's disabled right now. But then you put in instructions. Oh, sorry, I misclicked. AI, agent jobs, there. So here you also put a prompt. And you specify which AI user you want to run this job. And for example, if when with the AI user bot legal, you specify that you are a lawyer, you have these specialities, you always provide references, you put your comments in line, etc., how you want it to act, and then you have already specified the role and the purpose of this AI user in the settings, so you can actually just reference bot legal in the job or in the chat, and it already knows the purpose and how it should analyze how it should write the output, or what it should do. It could be tagging pages, updating pages, creating news pages, etc. So those are the agents. I will do a specific episode about that with some practical examples. Special purpose AI users was this thing that we just saw here. And let me give you an example. I think, unfortunately, these are in Danish. But if you put here, for example, in the prompt here, yeah, this is in Danish, but here it says that you are a GDPR, which is the European data protection guidelines regarding citizens, their information, how it should be treated, and all sorts of things. And imagine you have also you have the different kinds of, you have one that's focused on cybersecurity, you can have an AI user focused on anthropology, and whichever topic that is relevant for your wiki. It could also be a fan site for a fan wiki for World of Warcraft, etc. And since you specify that in the system prompt, it's called, the AI user already knows what to look for, how to behave. So it's really powerful, and you can have any number of AI users. And you can see here I have made AI use from 3 different LLM providers. So you don't have. So in order for you don't have to go through all this tedious work of adding a user manually. When you have first created an AI user for a specific LLM provider, you can just clone it. So you just click down here, and then you will have all the settings will be copied, and then you can give it a custom system prompt for that AI user. Then the next topic here is the context, and we already talked about it. If we go back to the diagram here. So if you have a general chat, like this one called research, then it's not about a specific page. You can ask it to look for different pages, etc. But if you have a page chat, then the LLM already knows that that this is the context of this conversation, you can call it, is this page in question. And you can see here the page chat also appears in the left menu separately. So I can also have the bigger view here. If I choose the elephant page and click the chat icon, then it shows up out here to the left. Yeah. So, and summary last here, if we go to the diagram again, understanding how this works and understanding how you can use this different system prompts. It's also called prompt engineering, and you can have any number of AI users. It can become an extremely powerful tool. And there are lots of videos and articles about prompt engineering, and you can start with a prompt and then see how it works, test it out, and then you can just improve it as you go along. But this is these things together, and the understanding of how this works together becomes really, really powerful. And also in the near future, I'm gonna make an episode, I think maybe more than one episode, about MCP servers. Because here to the left, you can see the tools and the context that will be expanded when you add MCP servers, and that is then it becomes really, really interesting. So that's it for now. So thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. And you're welcome to provide any comments. So thanks for now. Bye bye.